Hey guys, and welcome to a mighty battle of warriors. I'm a rubber duck of war taking charge of the exalted Bloodthirster-led Khorne forces up against Alex and his Kislev warband. Should be a good fun game, and you may notice something about my build is a little bit special, and that is the fact that every law written by mankind in the last 5,000 years has declared as its #1 rule, you may not bring triple Bloodthirsters. But luckily, this is my lobby, and I am the law. So we do indeed have triple Bloodthirsters up in the skies. It is a sight to behold indeed. They are a ferocious group of homies who will rip and tear into the enemy. So double Bloodthirster and an exalted Bloodthirster in the middle, making a deadly trio. Our main battle line is pretty simple because, of course, all our magic, or all our funds, did get all pushed into this Lord and Monster core. We have Chaos Warriors of Khorne, we've got Bloodletters, and that's about it, really, just dotted all the way along. 1 year of dual weapons. We do have some Chaos Warrior Berserkers who are frothing at the mouth right now, getting ready to bring the pain to the enemy. Speaking of pain, my opponent has quite a lot of it in his side. He's having an Ice Witch of Tempest lead the charge. Looks like she has the majority of her spells attached to her. We have Armored Corsairs in the front with some Streltsy, a couple of Zargard backing them up. We have some more Corsair Spears, Little Grom, Warbear Riders, which are very, very scary for me. I'm a little bit terrified of them because they can really rip and tear into a Bloodthirster with deadly accuracy. And there's an Elemental Bear as well, who's looking to be sprouting some green fungi on his back, which is pretty cool. He's been marching towards us, and it's going to be fought in this closed space. We're trying to replicate the army of 300, the mighty Spartans, holding back the enemy, whilst Little Grom, I believe this was historically accurate as well. I'm pretty sure Little Grom was behind the Spartans, launching shots up and over into the enemy, doing some pretty big damage. But my opponent's going to be taking a relatively static formation, sitting here and just waiting for death to arrive for him, and trying to shoot long range for Little Grom. Now, this amount of Corsairs and Armored Corsairs is a little bit scary. That is a lot of crossfire, which can bring down my Bloodthirsters. I don't have a huge amount of infantry. We do split up the mighty trio, one Bloodthirster taking the high ground on the left, the other the high ground on the right, and our Lord going straight down the middle. I also shut down the Streltsy, shut down Little Grom, and just all the backline harass as quickly as possible, while our front line really brings the pain. Now, the Streltsy are unleashing shots, so they may catch 1 or 2 Warbears in the crossfire. Brave Kislev troops there, crossing that aim of their brethren. But yeah, the Bloodletters are charging in. The big boy is also getting shot, but does come down with a cheeky little breath attack onto the Streltsy. And there goes the first Bloodthirster. It's going to be landing and dueling the Ice Witch, beating its chest, one warrior to another. Let's fight. And he is slapping up the Ice Witch really, really effectively. Our Lord does jump down on the Streltsy, and in the back we have another Bloodthirster eating at Little Grom at the moment. The Armored Corsairs are laying it on thick in the front. Lovely wind attacks coming by my opponents. Looks like we may get the Hawks of Mishka as well come down, which could be devastating, although the Zargard may get caught in the friendly fire. But look at this. Armored Corsairs and Streltsy annihilating the Bloodthirsters, taking massive damage as they fight both wind, magic, and the enemy blades. Although my main battle line has now started to arrive. So we have Chaos Warriors flooding in and the dual weapons. They're going to be doing a really decent job here in the back, shutting down the Armored Corsairs and ripping them limb from limb. In the main fight, I'm able to tangle up the Warbear Riders with Bloodletters. This is the perfect situation for me. I can shut down the Warbears. I'm a happy ducky indeed. The Zargard holding the line a lot better than the Armored Corsair brethren. One of our Bloodthirsters looks like he may be going down. Armored Corsairs getting some really lovely crossfire onto him, but they themselves are now being shut down. That may give me an avenue for escape. Little Grom's trying his best, but at the end of the day, he is 2 bears killing a sled, and we're a demon god from another realm who is brought up on death, carnage, and blood, and he wants all of it here today, doing some pretty big damage, and Little Grom does seem to be going down. Snow Leopard has been summoned. Unfortunately, the Ice Witch has been decapitated by the exalted Bloodthirster, and the Corsairs can only look on in absolute horror as their army crumbles around them. Bloodletters are swarming past the Elemental Bears, starting to shut down the enemy infantry, and yeah, we're just going to ignore the Snow Leopard for now, drag for our own troops, and look at this boy just swagging through the forces and into the enemy battle line, looking to bring pain to bear on the Elemental Bear. Zargard do receive a nasty breath attack in the rear. No one likes a spicy bum. And in comes the exiled Bloodthirster. He is really going to be able to help out the Chaos Warriors. If they do break and free, perhaps they know that their Lord doesn't really tend to, once the blood gets flowing, differentiate too much between friend and foe. Bloodletters doing a decent job. They are frostbitten at the moment. It does look like the Armored Corsairs have been driven back by the dual weapons, up to 56 kills, barely a scratch on them as well. and we're driving back the enemy infantry really effectively. Bloodletter's also chasing away Streltsy. The only unit left standing is a few Star Guard and, of course, the Elemental Bear, who is currently in a 3-for-1 meat sandwich with Bloodletters. And I can tell you from personal experience, you don't want to be the Elemental Bear in this situation, and he's not having a good day whatsoever. The Zargard are swarming in. Luckily, I have some Chaos Warriors looking to try and surround them. We do get countercharged by the Zargard. Brave men of Kislev fighting to the better end, even though all hope seems lost. They're going to keep going strong. As long as the Elemental Bear is here to encourage them, they will continue to fight. And they're doing a pretty decent number, it seems, over on those Chaos Warriors who are being ripped and torn apart. Unfortunately, speaking of being ripped and torn apart, the Elemental Bear is on fire and being ripped and torn apart. So not a good day for him whatsoever. Chaos Warriors are going to be returning axes held high, looking to surround the beast, hamstring him, distract him, and the Bloodthirster, big carving downward strike there across the face of the Elemental Bear. It tries to rear up and fight back, but Breath of Fire does drive it away, and it seems like the bear does burn up and go back to the frozen waste of Kislev from where it was once spawned. GG's, well played, an absolutely ridiculous and completely illegal game, but this wasn't in a tournament, this was just me hosting a lobby and inviting people to play, and there was a lot of good fun. I also have another ridiculously amazing game up against Alex, where I bring a full Toad build, so only Toads in the army and a Lord. It is bananas. I have sent it off, I believe, to Logic, see if he wants to cast it as well. I'll probably cast it later in the week regardless, because it's such a good game. But yeah, very well played. Alex had some really cool games. Him as an absolute sport as well, coming in with the crazy builds himself, bringing the Elemental Bear like an absolute Chad. Though in land battles, Elemental Bear is honestly really not too bad whatsoever, and still managed to get 1,000 value. 4,000 on the Exiled Bloodthirster, really showing his dominance as a beast upon the battlefield. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was really fun to cast. If you did enjoy it, don't worry, I will go through the value and stuff of these units in a second. But before then, really appreciate if you guys left a big old fat thumbs up, a cheeky subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below what you thought of the battle. Would you like to see more kind of wild and wacky builds and games, or would you like to see more competitive stuff? I'll probably do a mixture of both anyway, but it's always good to see what the general consensus is, so I can kind of lean heavily more into one or the other. And there's a load of links as well in the description. Twitch, Patreon, Discord. Patreon's where you can support the channel financially, and Discord is where you can support the channel by sending in replays, get involved in live streams and events. I haven't had to do many live streams now for quite a few months, still recovering from surgery, so I can't really sit down for too long. The videos are a bit easier to do, but hopefully in, I don't know, 2-3 weeks, maybe we're getting back to quite a few live streams. There will be one later this week. So once again, well played. Alex was an absolute Chad. And yeah, 4k value on the Bloodthirster is pretty scary. 1.4 and 1.5 on the other two. 600 value on the Chaos Warriors isn't crazy. 1,000 on both, or over 1,000 on both the Bloodlayers. I really like Bloodlayers. I think they're a really solid unit. One of my favourite infantry units in the game, actually. So far, so mobile. Really good at getting around the flanks. And in this instance, bomb rushing the enemy range and shutting it down as quickly as possible. The armor piercing always helps. Die switch, 720 gold value on her. She did get hunted pretty badly, so that's not terrible value, all things considered. 1,000 on the bear, only 250 on the war bears. Getting caught in the wrong engagement. They did not want to be fighting the Bloodletters. It was like the worst fight for them. Little Grom as well, shut down very quickly. The Zargard held firm. I was pretty impressed with them. 1k and 620 value, and the other troops, unfortunately, were dragged low. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Until next time, peace, peace. And as always, stay awesome.